Ah, my friends, sit back and listen closely. The world has an exquisite sense of irony, doesn't it? They thought your presence was ordinary, your existence disposable. They mistook your patience for weakness, your kindness for naivety. They believed that when you left, it would be them who would feel free. But oh, how the tables have turned. God, in all his wisdom, will make your absence their prison and your peace their greatest punishment. In the grand dance of life, there are those who think they hold the keys to others' fates, that they can control the narrative, manipulate the course of events. They take for granted the people around them, believing that they are entitled to your time, your energy, your presence. They think they can walk all over you because they mistake your silence for submission. They convince themselves that your loyalty is a weakness, that your care is just a flicker that can be snuffed out at their convenience. But little do they know, you are not their plaything. You are not the backdrop to their drama. You are not the one they can use and discard at will. And now, as the clock ticks away, as the winds shift and time slips through their fingers, they will come to realize the greatest truth. Your absence will become the very thing that haunts them. God, in his mercy, will not let them escape the consequence of taking you for granted. Oh, how blind they were to the gift they had in you. How foolish they were to think they could treat you as nothing more than a tool to satisfy their whims. They never stopped to consider the depth of your heart, the quiet strength that sustained you through the storms. They never recognized the rare value of a soul that, despite all, continued to stand by them, even when they proved, time and time again, that they were unworthy of your love, unworthy of your loyalty. Now, in your absence, they will see it. They will feel it. God will turn their lives upside down in ways they cannot comprehend. They will be left in the cold, staring at the consequences of their own choices, wishing they had known better, wishing they had treated you differently. When they called you weak for caring, when they laughed at your attempts to help them rise, they thought they had won. But all along, the real victory was quietly unfolding in the background. Your silence, your withdrawal, your decision to walk away is not a loss. It is the ultimate act of power. It is not a sign of surrender. It is a declaration that you are worth more than the lies they spun, more than the abuse they cast upon you. And now, as they sit in the ruins of their own making, they will realize that your peace was never theirs to take. They will understand that your absence is not a void, it is a force. Imagine their shock, their desperation, when they finally come face to face with the reality of your absence. They will search for someone else to fill the space you left behind, but it won't be the same. It can never be the same. The void will remain, a constant reminder of how they took you for granted, how they mistreated the one person who truly understood them, who truly loved them. They will call out for you, but you will not answer. They will wish for your return, but they will never see you again. And each day that passes, each moment that slips by, they will feel it, the weight of their choices bearing down on them, pressing on their chest until they can barely breathe. In your absence, they will not find relief. They will not find freedom. Instead, they will find a prison of their own making. They will be trapped in the memory of what they lost, in the haunting realization that they had everything they needed in you, and they let it slip away. They will be tormented by the echoes of your voice, the warmth of your touch, the light in your eyes that they never truly saw. And as they try to move on, they will find that no matter where they go, no matter who they meet, they will never find someone like you again. They will be forever stuck in the past, longing for a moment that can never be recaptured. God does not forget those who have been wronged, my friends, and he does not let the wicked escape their fate. Their time will come. It may not come immediately. It may not come in a way that they expect, but it will come. The universe has a way of righting itself, of balancing the scales. Every action has its consequence, every word its repercussion, and for all the pain they caused you, for all the ways they treated you as expendable, they will now face the price of their arrogance. The emptiness they feel in your absence will be a reflection of their own actions. They will realize that they never truly knew you, never understood what you brought into their lives. They will look around and find nothing but a hollow shell of what once was, a faded image of a time they thought they could control. But they were wrong. They were wrong about you. They were wrong about your love. And now, they will be forced to confront the truth of their own shortcomings. God has a way of making people pay for the wrongs they commit, and He will make sure that your absence becomes the punishment they cannot escape. It will not be a punishment that is obvious at first. It will not come with a loud crash or an immediate blow. Instead, it will come slowly, quietly, like the tide eroding the shore. They will start to feel the weight of the emptiness you left behind, and it will gnaw at them day after day. The more they try to fill the space with distractions, the more they will find that nothing satisfies. The more they try to move on, the more they will feel the crushing pressure of what they lost. And, oh, how delicious it will be when they finally come to understand that they have done this to themselves. They will have no one to blame but their own actions, their own pride, their own foolishness. They will look at the people around them, and they will realize that no one can replace you. They will see others who come into their lives, but it will never be the same. There will always be a shadow of regret, a weight of guilt that hangs over every interaction. God has a way of humbling the proud, of bringing them to their knees when they least expect it. And for all their arrogance, for all their cruelty, for all their selfishness, they will see that they were not in control. They were never in control. They were simply playing a role in a larger plan, a plan that they could not see and never will. And as they suffer in the prison of their own making, they will come to understand that your absence was not just a consequence, it was a gift of clarity, a gift of truth, a gift that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. You see, my friends, the absence of someone who was once essential to your world is not just a void. It is a mirror, reflecting all the mistakes, all the missed opportunities, all the times you took someone for granted. It is a reminder that life is fragile, that people are not disposable, and that every choice we make has consequences. And when someone as rare as you walks away, when someone who loved so deeply, who gave so much, decides to leave, it is a wake-up call. It is a lesson. And those who are wise enough to listen will learn. But those who are not will be left in their own prison, locked in the memories of what could have been, forever yearning for the one person they never truly appreciated until it was too late. And so, my friends, as you move forward, know that God has already turned your absence into the punishment they deserve. They may never admit it. They may never understand it. But the truth is undeniable. Your peace, your strength, your distance is their greatest torment. They will live with the knowledge that they had the rarest of gifts and threw it away. They will have to live with the haunting truth that no matter how hard they try, they will never get you back. And in that, they will pay the price for their arrogance, their selfishness, their cruelty. So do not mourn for those who mistreated you. Do not waste a single tear for those who could not see your worth. For in your absence, they will suffer far more than you ever did. Your peace will be their punishment, and in that, they will find no escape. No matter where they turn, no matter how they try to move forward, they will always be tethered to the consequences of their own actions. The chains that bind them will not be made of metal, but of guilt, regret, and the crushing weight of knowing that they destroyed something beautiful. As they search for solace, they will find that there is none to be had. The illusion of freedom they once felt when they thought they could let you go without consequence, will shatter like glass. And the fragments of that broken illusion will scatter all around them, reminding them at every turn of what they lost. They will try to replace you, of course. This is what people do when they realize too late the worth of what they had. They will find others to occupy the space you left behind, but they will quickly learn the hard truth. No one can ever fill your shoes. No one can match the depth of your understanding, the warmth of your compassion, the unwavering loyalty that was always a part of you. They will meet new people. They will form new relationships, but in every interaction, they will be haunted by the ghost of your presence. The new people will never have the same patience, the same kindness, the same ability to see through their facades and love them despite their flaws. No one will love them the way you did. No one will fight for them the way you did. And that will be a constant, gnawing reminder of their failure. But they won't be able to turn back the clock. They won't be able to undo the hurt they caused, the lies they told, the manipulation they used to control you, the selfishness they showed in taking you for granted. All of it is written in the past, and the ink cannot be erased. Every time they try to reach out to you, they will find that the distance between you and them is not just physical. It is a chasm of betrayal and neglect that cannot be bridged by apologies or promises. You are no longer the person they once knew. The person they treated as disposable has evolved, has grown beyond their reach, and they will find that no matter how hard they try, they will never be able to reclaim the relationship they once had. It is gone, and with it, any hope they had of returning to the comfort they once took for granted. As the days pass, the weight of your absence will become unbearable. They will look at their lives and see nothing but a collection of poor decisions and wasted opportunities. The friends they once had will fade away. The distractions they sought will no longer offer the escape they crave, and the emptiness they feel will only grow stronger. The fear of never being able to find someone like you again will gnaw at them, and they will start to realize the depth of the mistake they made. But it will be too late. They can no longer turn to you for comfort or understanding. You have withdrawn from their lives, and in doing so, you have become the very thing that they cannot escape from. The pain they feel will not be sudden. It will not be an explosion of emotion, but a slow, steady erosion of their sense of self. Each passing day will bring a new layer of awareness, a deeper understanding of the loss they have suffered. The freedom they thought they had when you walked away will begin to feel like a prison. They will remember the moments you shared, the quiet gestures that spoke louder than words, the sacrifices you made without ever asking for anything in return. They will long for the person you were, but they will find that that person no longer exists. You are not the same person they let go of, and that realization will torment them, for they know that they are the ones who pushed you away, the ones who failed to recognize your worth until it was too late. And as time goes on, the walls of their prison will close in. They will become increasingly desperate, trying to fill the void you left with other people, with things, with distractions. But it will never be enough. The hunger they feel for your presence, the longing they have for your understanding will never be satisfied. They will search and search, but they will only find more emptiness. And with each empty moment, they will feel the weight of their actions, the truth of what they lost, and the harshness of the consequences that are now a part of their lives. Their freedom will become a curse, their independence a reminder of the cost they paid for their selfishness. God, in His infinite wisdom, works in ways that are beyond human comprehension. He does not let the wicked go unpunished, and He does not allow the righteous to be forsaken. Your absence is not a punishment for you, it is a punishment for them. They believed they could take you for granted, believed they could treat you like a commodity, to be used and discarded when it suited them. But in their arrogance, They failed to see that you were never theirs to control. You were never disposable, never just a means to an end. You were a person, a soul, a force of nature in your own right, and now they will see the consequences of their actions. Your absence will force them to confront their own flaws, their own insecurities, and their own selfishness. They will have no choice but to look inward, to examine the ways they wronged you, and to face the uncomfortable truth that they are the ones responsible for the destruction of something beautiful. The guilt will eat away at them, the shame will suffocate them, and they will be unable to escape the knowledge that they destroyed a connection that could have brought them peace, that could have given their lives meaning. And as they wrestle with this truth, they will find no solace in the people around them, no comfort in the distractions they once turned to. They will be alone in their suffering, and it will be a loneliness that they will never be able to escape. As they try to rebuild their lives, they will come to realize that what they had with you was not something that could be replaced. It was not something that could be replicated by anyone else. Your presence in their lives was unique, and they will spend the rest of their days searching for something that does not exist. Every time they meet someone new, they will subconsciously compare them to you, and each time they do, they will feel the sharp sting of loss. They will see glimpses of your kindness in others, but it will never be enough. They will hear echoes of your voice in the voices of those around them, but it will never be the same. And with each passing moment, they will be reminded of the cost of their decisions, of the irreversible damage they caused. The truth is, they will never escape your absence. They will never escape the consequences of their actions. And as much as they try to move on, to forget, to fill the void with new people and new experiences, they will always carry the weight of their mistake with them. It will be a burden they cannot put down, a wound that will never heal. And in that, my friends, lies the greatest punishment of all. For in their attempts to rid themselves of you, they will only succeed in condemning themselves to a life of longing, regret, and unfulfilled desires. Your absence will be the prison they cannot escape, the punishment they must endure for the rest of their lives, and there is nothing they can do to change it. Nothing they can say, no amount of remorse they can show will undo the damage they've caused. The clock cannot be turned back. The pages of the past cannot be rewritten, and the moments they lost with you can never be reclaimed. They will search for ways to fill the void you left, but in their hearts, they will always know that the one person who truly saw them, understood them, loved them with a depth that was unmatched, is gone. And no matter how hard they try to convince themselves otherwise, the reality will haunt them every single day. They may try to seek redemption in other relationships, in new connections, thinking that by offering themselves to someone else, they can erase the stain of their guilt. But they will soon realize that all they are doing is trying to substitute something that was irreplaceable. No matter how many times they encounter new faces, no matter how many new hearts they pour their love into, they will always fall short. The shadow of your absence will loom over every interaction, every word, every gesture, because deep down they know it will never be the same. They will find themselves unable to connect with others the way they connected with you, because the connection they shared with you was unlike any other. It was deep, it was real, and it was rooted in something that transcended superficiality. Your absence will be a reminder that nothing can replicate the genuine bond that once existed. In their attempts to move on, they will stumble, time and time again. They will try to bury the pain, suppress the memories, and distract themselves with trivialities. But that pain will always find its way to the surface. Every time they look back, they will see the face they took for granted, the face they dismissed, the face that now haunts them in their moments of solitude. They will try to forget, but how can they forget someone who was once such an integral part of their life? How can they forget the love you gave, the sacrifices you made, the loyalty you offered? It will follow them like a shadow, even in their happiest moments. It will make their smiles feel hollow, their joys feel fleeting. And each time they laugh or feel content, it will be tinged with the silent realization that the one person who made their world whole is gone. Even if they find new people who seem to understand them, even if they find new friends, new lovers, new confidants, it will never be the same. No one will ever love them with the same purity that you did. No one will ever offer them the same sense of comfort, the same unwavering support. They will meet people who will pretend to understand, but deep down they will know that those people can never see them the way you did. They will never see beyond their walls, their defenses, to the person hiding within, the one who was vulnerable with you and trusted you with their deepest fears and desires. And because of that, no one will ever fill the role you once occupied in their lives. In time, they may come to regret their actions. The realization that they could have had you, that they could have nurtured the bond they shared with you, will eat at them from the inside. They will replay the moments when they pushed you away, when they took you for granted, when they dismissed your love as though it meant nothing. And each time they do, the sting of that realization will grow sharper. They will never be able to undo the hurt they caused you, and they will never be able to forgive themselves for it. No matter how many times they apologize, no matter how much they beg for a second chance, the truth is, they will never truly forgive themselves. Their actions have created an irreversible rift, one that cannot be healed by words or promises. And in the quiet of their own minds, they will live with that guilt every single day. They may try to reach out to you, desperate for reconciliation, for redemption, for a second chance. They will call your name in the darkness, hoping that you will hear their cries and come back to them. But by then, you will have moved on. You will have found peace. You will have found your own path. And you will no longer be the person they once knew. The version of you they are searching for, the one who was willing to sacrifice for them, to love them without condition, is gone. In its place is someone who has learned the lessons life had to teach, someone who has grown stronger, more resilient, and wiser from the experiences they've endured. And though your heart may still hold a flicker of compassion for them, you will not let them back into your life. You will not let them disrupt the peace you finally found. You will not allow them to undo the healing you've worked so hard for. And when they realize that you are truly gone, that there is no coming back from the choices they made, they will fall into despair. They will feel as though they have lost everything. They will feel as though the world has turned its back on them, that the universe has conspired to punish them for their arrogance. But the truth is, it is not the universe punishing them. It is the natural consequence of their own actions. You are not the one who has abandoned them. They are the ones who abandon themselves by mistreating you, by thinking that your love, your presence, your loyalty could be taken for granted. Now they are left to face the harsh reality that their actions have led them to a life devoid of the one person who could truly understand them, who could truly love them. And they will be forced to live with that knowledge every single day. Their attempts to move forward will feel empty. They will accumulate new possessions, new experiences, new people, but it will all feel hollow. There will always be a piece of them missing, a part of their soul that has been irrevocably lost. And no matter how hard they try, no matter how many new people they bring into their lives, they will never be able to fill that void. The peace they thought they would have once you were gone will turn into a gnawing emptiness. They will find themselves staring into the abyss, realizing that no matter how much they try to fill the void with distractions, they will never escape the truth. You were the one they needed, and now you are gone. As time passes, their misery will deepen. They will look back at the days when they had everything in front of them, the love, the trust, the future, and they will wonder why they ever let it slip through their fingers. They will replay every moment, every argument, every choice, wishing they could go back and make different decisions. But no matter how much they wish, no matter how much they long to turn back time, they cannot. The choices they made have set the course for their lives, and they will have to live with the consequences of those choices. And in that, they will find no escape. Their suffering will not be a loud, violent thing. It will not come in the form of a single moment of regret or an explosion of emotion. It will be a quiet, constant ache that follows them wherever they go. Every day will be a reminder of the loss they have experienced. Every time they wake up, they will be reminded that the person they once had is no longer there, and that knowledge will weigh on them, silently but unrelentingly, until the very end of their days, and there is nothing they can do to change it. No matter how much they regret their actions, no matter how much they cry or plead for forgiveness, they will never be able to undo the damage they've done. Your absence will be a permanent fixture in their lives, a shadow that will follow them wherever they go. They will search for peace, they will search for solace, but they will find that the only thing they will ever truly find is the truth. They pushed you away, and now they must live with the consequences of their choices. And in that, they will remain trapped, unable to escape, unable to move on, forever burdened by the realization that they had everything in you and let it slip through their fingers. In the end, their regret will be their only companion. The absence they once thought would bring them freedom has become their greatest punishment. They cannot undo the past, cannot reclaim what they lost, and no matter how hard they try, they will never escape the truth of their actions. Your absence will remain their prison, a constant reminder of what they had and foolishly let go, and in that truth, they will be trapped forever.